if it was up to you, like, how often would you fight a year? What's, like, a perfect amount?
It depends on the length of the fight. So like for a 5 rounder, I would do 3 times in a year. For 3 rounder, I can do five.
Okay, okay. And do you change the length of your training camp depending? Or is it kind
Uh,
of like
I don't really have like a difference between the training camp and like the non-training camp. The only difference is it becomes more like focused on me in the gym where like we'll switch to 5 minute rounds for like all of our stuff, and then we'll have guys that are kind of like the coaches are selecting guys to come in and fight me and like pulling guys off so they have breaks before they fight me, so they're coming in like hard. Um but yeah, that's the only difference really make for a fight camp.
mm,
So yeah, we don't really I kind of just stay in shape all year round for the most part. And then after a fight, I'll give it like 2 weeks or whatever to kind of relax and then jump right back in, even if I don't have a fight scheduled yet.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you're just always because even when you when you come to the gym and spar and you're like, "Oh, I took some time off," or like, "I've been kinda just chilling," but then you're still fine.
Yeah.
Like, you're never dying in there,
Yeah.
you know? I'm like, "I thought you said you haven't been training. Why am I more tired than you?"
Yeah. Well,
Mm,
my
mm,
not
mm.
training is like, I just taper down from the two a days basically. I'll do like one
I
workout a
see.
day. I'll like for the week after my fight, if I'm banged up, I'll take like that week to kind of relax and not do I might do like one session in the gym just to kind of like get a sweat going throughout that week. But it's pretty light, not doing much. And then after that, it might be like I'll bring it up to like one workout a day, whatever it is, just one workout. And then after that, it's like back to normal, like two a day sessions.
Mm, okay.
So yeah, if I'm not training, it means that I'm doing like one workout a day, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, which is still
Just doing,
training for
like,
most people.
the more than the average
Yeah.
freaking athlete, you know? I'm, well, I guess before we get right into it, if you wanna introduce yourself
Yeah.
quick and
Sounds good.
what you're about and who you are and where you're from, and go ahead.
All right. I am Big Game Hunter Lee. I am the unified middleweight champion from Flin Flon originally, and I've been training and living in Saskatoon for almost 10 years now. Um, yeah, that's what I do. I'm a professional MMA fighter.
Yeah. And newly champion.
Yeah.
Your last fight, that was in, when was that?
February 28th,
End of
last day of
February.
February.
Heck yeah, man, and that was such a cool fight.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Like, just a fun fight to watch. Kinda had everything, and, um and that guy was good, man. That
Yep.
guy was
Good.
a solid opponent too, and
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I had one my coach from when I lived out in BC, he messaged me and he said that, he had heard from other people that that guy gets up to, like, 220 before he gets in the cage, which is, we weighed in at 185, and so it's
Mm,
like a 35-pound weight gain in between, so that he was noticeably bigger. I got in there at 205, like, I gained 20 pounds back. He was noticeably bigger than me, so
yeah,
I believe it.
yeah.
And, yeah, we everything in that fight went exactly to how we planned it. My coaches watch a lot of film on my opponents and kind of help me game plan, and I watch, a lot of film on my opponents. I'll watch, like, hours and hours. I'll watch every one of his fights multiple times and take notes and do all that. So I
Mm,
had it super planned out, and everything pretty much went exactly how I planned it to.
okay. So what's like, from watching, what's something you noticed right away that you thought you would take advantage of?
One thing I didn't take advantage of just because, like, in the moment, you don't think about it. I knew he was gonna come out and throw a heavy right low kick right off the start. He throws it in a bunch of his fights. That's the first strike he throws every time. He did exactly that, but I didn't counter it just because, I was trying to focus on moving. Our big game plan here was he doesn't move very well. He's really good if guys stand in front of him and he can plant his feet and throw heavy shots. If you make him move, and especially if you can make him move and circle to his left side because his all of his weapons are like very right dominant, then he struggles, and so I was very focused on doing that, and then he just was throwing leg kicks, and I was having a little bit of trouble countering him, but we knew he was going to throw leg kicks. We knew he was going to throw the overhand. We knew he was going to have trouble when I circled away from his best weapons, and we knew he was going to come out super hard in the first 2 rounds, and we just kind of had to weather the storm and either wrestle him a little bit, but not too aggressively, just kind of like make him carry my weight a little bit. So that's
Mhm.
why you've seen us in the clinch there. And I wasn't really like holding him down super hard. I was kind of like he would fight to get back up and I would trip him again. And just like if we were in the clinch, I wasn't like chasing a takedown necessarily. I was just like holding and like weighing on him. And that was all part of the game plan. Just make him carry all that weight. And third round or end of the second round, we started to kind of ramp it up. That was our plan, is like start slow, make him carry our weight and just like keep building and putting more pressure on him. And so third round I came out and I was like smiling at him because I was like, I can feel his breathing. And I know that in training, every sparring session we had, I would try to like ramp it up. Third, fourth, fifth round, I was like pouring it on guys. So I knew that it was going to be a tough next couple rounds for him. And I ended
Mhm.
up getting him in the third. So
Yeah.
didn't get to see the fourth and fifth, but I was that was when we were like planning to start really fighting, was third round essentially.
Did you feel pretty good?
Yeah, yeah, I
Like,
felt good.
yeah. Was there anything like him being as big as he was? Did you plan for that, or was that kind of a surprise, or was he stronger than you thought?
No, that's pretty much what people who had been around him that I talked to had said, is they said he's just like big and strong, and so we just kind of knew to plan for that. And yeah, he didn't have anything that really surprised me. Yeah, well, he did have one technique when he I was checking his kicks and then he started attacking the back leg, and I'd never seen him do that before. So he definitely added that in, and it caught me a couple times where he like kicked me off my feet because I was
Right.
like
Yeah.
checking the front leg and he kicked the back leg out. That was one that I hadn't seen him do in previous fights, but he wasn't able to really like capitalize off it much because I was just able to keep moving. So yeah, that
Mm,
was everything else was exactly how we thought it would be.
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's nice, eh? When things go to plan.
Yeah.
That's wicked, man. Now that you're the champ, are you getting lots of offers now? Is
For
there lots of
fights,
opportunities to fight? Do you kind of have a lineup of people? Because I feel like before you couldn't find anyone to
yeah,
fight.
definitely easier to find fights with the belt. My manager handles all that, so I don't know exactly who's all getting like offered or whatever, but I've heard he sent me like a few. They're throwing around a few different names, and I kind of just say like whoever they want to put in front of me, like I'm good to fight whoever. So yeah, whoever they find, it should be what is it, June 12th is kind of what we're preparing for. And that would be Edmonton, unless they change something up. That's kind of what they've announced. And yeah, we'll figure out the opponent, or we'll let them figure it out, and I'll just fight whoever they put in front of me. Um, yeah, there's been other offers, I believe, from like my manager. We're pretty set on just like fighting with Unified, fighting in Canada, because it's like I got the belt there and it's like home and people can kind of like come and watch me fight there.
Right.
Yeah, I've heard him say that there's been like a lot of other offers from like, oh, this promotion in Australia, this promotion in Holland. They're like international offers that are getting reached out to right now. So it's cool to hear about. But yeah, Unified is where I'd like to defend and hopefully have him bring a fight to Saskatoon in the future.
Do you think about taking those fights just to get to travel a bit?
Yeah, but also I've traveled a lot for wrestling, so it'd be more tempting if I hadn't done that. I've been
Right.
to like over 20 countries already just through wrestling. And yeah, I enjoy like traveling and seeing countries, but when you do it for competition, it's a little bit different and I don't really enjoy the trip as much. So
Right.
it's
You're just there for business.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's less of an advantage for you. So if I'm fighting in Canada, I know exactly how everything's gonna be. You go over to these other countries and it's like different foods, different cultures, like all these things that you can't really plan for. Different time zones. You might have to get over there like a couple weeks early and all that stuff. And I would rather do that kind of in the UFC when I have a little bit more of a bankroll to play with and uh get myself over there and like pay for all the hotels that way. Whereas like right now, I don't really have the money to like be like, I'm gonna go stay in Australia for like two
Yeah.
weeks beforehand so that I'm fully prepared for the fight.
Right.
And it's just all me paying for it.
Yeah. Yeah. So the middleweight and unified, is it a pretty big division? And is it
um,
mostly Canadians or is there the States is involved in that too?
Yeah, the unified is they don't really have like set divisions the way that some other promotions do. Like they don't have like a necessarily like a ranking system. They're pretty good at just pulling guys from wherever they need to pull them from because it's one
Okay.
of the big ones in Canada. So um there are some guys in that are consistently fight for unified in the middleweight division. But yeah, like in my last fight, like they just brought a guy in from Mexico that was like a 60 fight veteran and they
Right.
just brought him in to fight me. And then this guy for this one, he had fought in a bunch of different organizations and I don't think he'd fought in Unified yet, but he'd fought in all these like big American organizations and Unified just has that ability to pull guys in to fight if they need them. So that's kind of
Mm.
they could pull from anywhere, honestly. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited to see who you got next, man.
Yeah.
Because this is a freaking exciting. It's like exciting. It's exciting for you, but it's exciting for Saskatoon too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because even um at the gym and just like talking to guys and talking to the guys that I know that you train with,
Yeah.
and it's just like an exciting thing to
Hmm.
have somebody here, um, just making things happen. It's nice to be able to root for somebody.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to do. That was always been a big goal of mine. Once I seen that I could kind of do it with wrestling, when I was in high school, and I was on like I made Team Canada for wrestling, and I wrestled internationally. I won a world bronze medal at the Junior World Championships, and just kind of realizing that I can inspire people that are like younger, or even people like my age to like chase something that's not like the norm, I guess. Like for Flin Flon, pretty much the main things that you'll see people do in sports is like hockey. Like you'll see people go to like
Right.
we had like a couple NHL players come through there like before my time, and that's kind of like been the path. If you want to do something athletically in Flin Flon, you got to play hockey. So I kind of took a different path than what people were used to, and people really kind of responded to it, and that was um like interesting for me to see that people were kind of inspired by that. And I kind of want to do the same thing in Saskatoon. It's a little bit of a bigger center, but we don't have a ton of guys coming out of here and like getting to the UFC really. So if I can get to the UFC and kind of like inspire like the upcoming generation to be like, okay, well, he did it, like I can kind of do it.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the same thing that I was inspired by to start fighting in the first place. I seen George St. Pierre win his belt when I was like 12 or 13, I think, and just being like, oh, this is a guy from Canada. Like he's out there winning the belt in the biggest promotion in the world. Like if he can do it, I can do it. And even on more of a local level, like Saskatoon, it would really inspire people as well.
Is it like do you plan? This is obviously maybe a little bit far into the future, but do you plan to have your own gym one day?
I would like to do coaching in some capacity at some point. So whether that is me opening my own gym or whether I just like I talked to some of my coaches about like potentially helping out coaching there. I know that they like split their like they pay their coaches pretty well and everything. So like there could potentially be the opportunity for me to um, take on like more of a coaching role there. But yeah, I see myself coaching in some capacity for sure once I retire or even before that, hopefully. The other big thing that I would like to do, I've kind of been talking about it with the bringing Unified to Saskatoon, is if there's not like a amateur promotion or some kind of fight promotion here by the time I'm kind of retiring from fighting or before I'm getting close to retiring, I would like to uh, figure it out with some people to like get a consistent promotion going in Saskatoon because we have so many fighters here.
Yeah.
We have probably like 12 amateur guys at our gym that like just have to travel all around to do their fights because there's nothing in Saskatchewan. There's barely anything in Winnipeg, whether it's like Muay Thai or MMA. Like
MMA.
there's really like not much here. We have to go out to
Lethbridge.
Alberta. Yeah,
Always
yeah,
in
it's all in
Lethbridge.
Alberta. So just having some kind of local promotion here, I think would be really big for growing MMA.
Yeah. Yeah, the reason I ask is because, I feel like when you get to that high of a level, there's clearly there's things like talent is only so much of it, right?
Yeah,
Like skill, talent. There's clearly systems that you're doing,
yeah,
training methods that you're doing, discipline that you're doing, that is working, and has worked since you were in wrestling.
mhm,
Um, there's clearly things that you're doing that other people aren't doing,
yeah,
and to be able to structure that, put it on paper, and then teach other people that,
mhm,
uh, it'd be cool to see it like
yeah,
written down
yeah,
at some point, and you kind of having your own coaching style or
yeah,
your own training style, I guess.
mhm. Yeah,
You
I agree. It's also like I feel like as good as I am as a fighter, I'm almost like preparing a little bit more for like coaching in the future at a certain point because like my degree is in education. I do like my main job, like my teaching or sorry, my day job is like teaching mostly phys ed. So I'm very used to like explaining how to do things and
mm,
teaching people how to do things. And so like I got into that because I wanted to coach in the future at some point, and also just my living in Saskatoon and training here, even with wrestling, you kind of have to travel around and like learn a lot. Because when I was wrestling here, I got to a point where I kind of had outgrown my training partners at times, where I needed to go out and like train with other teams to like get higher level training.
right.
And I would always bring that back and like teach to the guys in the room, try to like improve the level of the room. And so I have a bunch of different philosophies from all over the place that I've kind of just like made into my own thing. Whereas some guys that go into coaching, they've like trained under the same trainer for their entire life, and they just are basically like mirroring that guy's training philosophy. And obviously it like works because it's like made them like a good fighter. But if you can really like travel around all over the place and take what works from different things and be able to like apply them to create your own style, I feel like that's like a really interesting thing to pass on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like newer.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
that's what people like. That's what the new version of like mixed martial arts is doing.
Yeah.
But it was for a long time like one way.
Yeah.
Like don't train at other gyms.
Yeah.
My gym versus your gym.
Yeah.
I think that's going away.
Yeah.
Even so, I just made a trip out to Vancouver,
Yeah.
and I was training out. Mike Creedle.
The name sounds familiar.
He's I used to train with him here at Shears.
Yeah.
But he's a coach out there, and that's what he said. Like he had to leave. He had to leave Saskatchewan essentially to become the jujitsu practitioner he is now,
Yeah.
because it was just like every gym was so doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And then out there, he's like, if you do like an open mat, there's 6, 7 gyms there. It's like he's like, I coach at 3 gyms,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's fine. Nobody says anything
Mhm.
because we as a city are trying to get good so that we can go into the States and
Yeah.
do well in the States.
Yeah.
We're not trying to do well in this city.
Mhm.
We're trying to friggin' compete against other countries, and it's just like such a different mentality
Yeah.
over there, it sounds like.
When I lived in Vancouver, it was the same way. I trained at 5 different gyms each week, basically. I'd be at, like, a different gym every day.
Mhm.
That's what, like, all the fighters out there were doing. Just go there was, like yeah, people would just go wherever they needed to, and there was, like, even, like, secret practices that weren't on, like, their schedule, and you would just, like, have a coach be like, "Oh, the pros practice at this time, it's not on the schedule, just show up." And there was a bunch of, like, that kinda stuff in Vancouver, and I went and trained out in Calgary a little bit, and I noticed it's, like, a similar sorta thing there. People have their home gyms, but then they also just travel around and train at other gyms in the city depending on who's all there. And, like, even when I was out at, TriStar in Montreal, you got, like, the guys that are that's their home gym, because it's such like a popular gym. You got a lot
Right.
of different training guys in there, but then you have like other gyms in Montreal that also just like drop in for the sparring sessions, and then they go back to their own place to like work on their skill work there. So you're seeing it a lot more now. I don't know many gyms nowadays that do the whole "don't train at other gyms" thing, because I feel like it kills your athletes off, as
Yeah.
like they don't get as high level of training as the other guys.
All all the gyms that do that now are in Saskatchewan. You know?
Yeah,
I feel like Saskatchewan's, like, the last to change anything
yeah.
ever. They're just like
That's why I think modern is kind of becoming like the place for fighters to go in Saskatoon right now. Is the coaches have been pushing really hard for like my whole fighting career, like go and train at as many different gyms as you can, bring it back, teach it to us so that we can like teach it to our guys. Like it's only going to make us better as a gym.
mhm,
And just being like, if we if we're confident that our technique works, we shouldn't be scared for you to train at a different gym. Like
right.
you should only be worried about your athletes training at a different gym if you're not entirely sure that your techniques are going to work.
Yep. Yeah, be a better coach,
Yeah, yeah,
and then it doesn't matter.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. How is that training in Montreal at TriStar?
It's really good. It's like Faraz Sahabi, the GSP's coach, he's still in there like every practice twice a day, just giving knowledge to all the fighters and everyone in there. It's pretty crazy environment to be in. You see a bunch of UFC guys in there as well. A lot more at like the lower weight classes, but who else? Who is all in there that I've seen? I think Arnold Allen, Ayman Zahabi, who else? Rob Font. I think all those guys are like top 15 in their weight class in the UFC. Just like being around like high level guys like that is super interesting, just because you can just ask them random questions about like, oh, what weight do you cut from on fight week? I've asked like a few guys in there about that. Just like seeing what the best guys are really doing is always good, in my opinion.
Yeah, and they are pretty welcoming
Oh yeah,
to
been
questions?
really like nice and everything. Like,
Cool.
I even like the few of the times I would just do my jujitsu practice and then like just like sit around beside like Faraz and just ask him a bunch of questions. He'd like tell me like stories of like certain fights, like the backstory of like what happened with this fight that I like hadn't heard of, and just like yeah, very friendly. Everyone in there is very friendly.
That's wicked, man.
Yeah.
Um, Montreal so in Montreal, when you were there, did was there a lot of other gyms coming there?
There was a few that I'd seen, um, that I know of for sure. You could see because there'd be like other coaches that like were like
Ah,
kind
I
of
see.
coaching guys in there. But there's so many athletes in there that it's hard to know who's all like part of that gym and not. Yeah,
Yeah. Like a class, like 50, 60, 70 plus people?
yeah,
Like
I would say
massive
so.
classes?
Yeah. So they have a cage. They have a regular sized cage. They have like a giant square cage that is probably like twice the size of a regular MMA cage. They have a full boxing ring, and then they have a giant
Mm,
mat space. So they have like a lot of space for guys to be training in there.
that's
Yeah.
wicked. And is that kind of a plan of yours is to go out there for every training camp just
Yeah.
to kinda wrap it up?
Yeah. The last time I stayed at the dorms there actually, so just like lived in the gym, trained twice a day, pretty much just like, yeah, lived and breathed fighting the entire time I was there, almost 2 weeks, and then, brought it all back here and dialed it in for the last week before the fight, and yeah, it was great.
That's wicked, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. So I guess for, um, without giving giving up your secrets or whatever, uh, what does like a day for you look like? You know, like from when you wake up
Yeah.
till you when you go to bed, when you're in like full training camp.
Yeah, so I've been trying to do more, social media stuff around that because I feel like a lot of people find it interesting, kind of like what people do that, especially like athletes. I always find those videos interesting, like how do they structure their training? What are they, like how many times a week are they doing strength conditioning? Like all these little things,
Yeah.
how do they organize it?
I just seen your rave one.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I should ask him what he does because
Yeah. So yeah, every day is different when I'm in Saskatoon because of the way like the training is set up.
Mhm.
So I'll do when I'm in Montreal first because it's a little bit more set. So it's like I'll wake up at probably like 10 a.m. when I'm out there, or 9 a.m. Because training's at 11. So I wake up at 9, I eat, I do the 11 to like 1 practice or 11 to 12:30 ish. It's kind of on mat practice, usually like a sparring or like a pro fighter sort of practice. It's either just drills or sparring, depending on the day. And then after that, get some food, shower, and then either depending on um, kind of what is going on. I have some free time there, whether I'll like go explore the city a little bit or just like hang out. Um, and then the next practice is at 7, I think, 7 at night, and that one is about an hour and a half. It's jujitsu every night, so they do like close to an hour of like technique and drilling, and then like 30 minutes rolling, usually like just like live match style jujitsu. And then after that, just go back, eat, and shower, and like go to bed. Like very simple day, just like on the mat twice, and then a little bit of like free time in between to kind of do what you want. And that's pretty much every day there. It's like the exact same schedule. Um, in Saskatoon, it's a lot different because the practices are all kind of scattered. So I have certain practices that I know that most of the fighters like to go to. So I try to aim to go to those ones. So, um, like today, I was supposed. I work when I'm here a lot of times. So today I was supposed to work, but I ended up feeling kind of sick last night, and I just like slept for like 12 hours until I was feeling better, and then decided to go in and do noon pad work, and then that's pretty much my only session for today. Tomorrow, my plan is kind of wake up in the morning, run, go to work in the evening at like 6. I do sparring for an hour. And then after that, it's like jujitsu for an hour and then go home. And then that's the end of my day. So different kind of every day, depending on where I am and if I'm working or not.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when you train, you try to train twice a day,
Yeah.
or is there like an hour? No, like, are you trying to train for like 3 hours? Are you trying to train
Pretty
for?
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 3 hours is kind of what I'm aiming for. Kind of, yeah, try to do like twice a day, or 3 hours is kind of where I'm aiming to be at. And also depends on like the intensity level of the training.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's what does it work out to? I think it's like 15 hours in a week is kind of where my training is
Okay.
usually at.
Now you trying to do like maybe Monday, like you're just doing drills that day, and then another day you're gonna be sparring all day.
Yeah.
One day you're doing maybe some strength and conditioning stuff, and like how do you match that kind of stuff up?
Um,
Or is that a
I
little bit
try
harder?
to spar like 3 times a week, and I try to space them out a little bit. I try not to do them back to back. So sometimes I'll end up doing like a boxing. If I do boxing sparring, that one will usually be back to back with one of my MMA ones, which is fine. It's just like the two MMA ones have to be spaced out a little bit because it's too difficult on the body to do them back to back.
Right.
Um, and then for strength conditioning, I just do twice a week strength conditioning. And I usually like I can't put those before a sparring. That's what I figured. I can
Mm,
place them kind of anywhere in there. They just can't be before a sparring, or it takes it out of my sparring too much.
okay.
So yeah, I try not to do too much before my sparring. Uh, if it's like a hard sparring day.
So then, okay. So for the strengthening, is that just like lifting weights, like kind of full body stuff?
I do, yeah, it's like a little it's so I always start with like, plyometrics and like medicine ball throws, like anything explosive that I can do moving quickly. And then I go into heavy lifts. So that'll be one heavy lower body exercise, one heavy push exercise, and one not usually as heavy, usually a little bit more higher rep back exercise. And then from there, I'll do some kind of carry to finish off. So like farmer's carry,
Mm,
sandbag carry, something like that. Um, and then I will do some kind of conditioning. So depending on the day, it's usually either like lactic or alactic, I guess they're called. So one would be like 10-second sprints with like a minute and a half, 2 minute recovery, like just trying to push it as hard as you can and like fully recover. And then the other day would be like just burning out like the lactic, like building up the lactic acid in your muscles. So it's like 30-second sprints with like a minute and a half recovery or a minute recovery. So
mm,
it's a little bit more tiring. Um, but yeah, not quite as hard because you're kind of like burning your muscles out.
right.
So that's kind of how I structure it. It's like explosive, lift, carry, and then some kind of sprints.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have a calorie number you try and hit? Or are you just
Uh,
kinda like you eat a lot?
yeah, I eat similar things each day. So I just have I try to hit a gram per pound of body weight with protein. So like 200 grams of protein a day, and then I kind of just let the calories go wherever they go.
Yeah.
As I get closer to the fight, when I'm in camp, I'll try to um, hit certain calorie numbers depending on where I'm at. Just try if I need to drop my weight, but other than that, I'm just kind of hitting the protein for the day.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's good, man. That's like, do you do any like steady state cardio? You know,
Is that like
like a
zone
5K
two?
run, like just chill run or like a
Yeah.
bike or a swim or something like that?
So I'll do like one of those a week usually as well.
Okay.
And I usually do 30 to 40 minutes, just like a light
Right.
run on one of the days. I usually do that one before like a sparring.
Right. Right.
So if I have sparring at night, I'll do that like in the morning, because it doesn't burn you out at all. You can just kind of get your second workout in for the day that way.
I also noticed after we spar, you always do rounds on the bag.
Yeah.
And that's just like a cool down, or is that like you try and burn out?
Um, I'm not sure. It's just like some extra work that I try to do. I try to do extra work every session. That's another thing that I like to do is uh yeah, I got that from wrestling. So our coach would always say like you do your like regular practice and then he'd be like, okay, before I call you in, I'm going to give you like 10-15 minutes, do whatever you want to do. If that means like stretch out and hang out, like feel free to do that. If you're like tired, or you could just like whatever work you want to do extra. So I always try to do a little bit of extra stuff because I feel like that's what gives you the edge compared to the
Mm,
other people that are doing the same classes as you. So for boxing, whenever I do the boxing sparring, I try to do uh like what is it? It's 1 minute on, 1 minute off. And so for the 1 minute, I'm going like as hard as I can, throwing like power punches, just working that like speed, explosiveness, power, and then I'll take a minute off, and I do that for 5 rounds.
okay.
So that's just my like little extra work that I do at the end of each boxing session, and then it'll be different for each day. So some days, when I'm at the MMA gym, I'll grab the it's like a grappling dummy, and I use it as like a heavy bag, but for ground and pound. So go to ground and pound positions, and I'll basically like
Mm,
hit it for 5 minutes or whatever, and just work my ground and pound. I'll do some body conditioning on some days. So I'll have a guy just like punch and kick me in the body to like get used to dealing with that. It's always just like you can find like one thing extra each workout, basically.
right.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's good, man. That's like it's cool stuff to learn,
Mhm.
because like I'm always just learning, I just like hearing what people are doing,
Yeah.
seeing what's working, trying stuff. I know, like Eric Wilson's at the
Mhm.
gym and he's pretty smart, when it comes to like the scientific side of training.
Yeah.
Half the stuff he's talking about, I don't know what he's saying,
Yeah.
but I know his cardio is crazy good,
Yeah.
and and so then I just see what he's doing and I try some stuff and I see how it works and then add some stuff in, and it's like I just like to try stuff and see how my body feels, and
Mhm.
then but man, it's crazy how scientific it is now.
Yeah. That's what I've noticed the most from like trying to learn. around the cardio stuff is like fight like I don't, it might be different with boxing. I know people call it like the sweet science. So it's a little bit more like it's an older art form. So it's kind of gotten that part where people can break down, okay, if you do this, you got to do this. It's kind of like that. Whereas with MMA, it's very chaotic and there's not really like a
Mhm.
set plan for each. Everyone kind of does it differently. So it feels very like an art form. But when I start trying to learn more about cardio, you can really break that down just like a science. Like people are like, you do this and this and this, and you do that for like that amount of time. And there's not really like any art or like not even art, but just like those old school like grindy workouts that you would always like get put through back in the day to be like, oh, this is what you're gonna do to be the best fighter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's you don't really need that. You just need your heart rate needs to hit a certain point and you need to do it for a certain amount of time. And then you do different variations of that. And it's like that's all you need. You don't need to like kill yourself in every workout to have
Right.
better cardio.
Yeah. I feel like it's like, cause like between like the lactic acid
Mhm.
and like learning how to dump it and
Yeah.
then like you're getting your heart rate under control and being under those intense situations and then back to like a calm one, then like between that and then like those grindy workouts, I feel like they're only good for mental.
Yeah.
It's here's how it feels to suffocate for a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, and let's see if you can like
Yeah.
keep going after you suffocated for like 2 minutes.
Hmm.
It's definitely more mental because yeah, it doesn't really help
Yeah.
anything. And now that like people understand what the body is actually doing
Yeah.
and what's causing your legs to stop working, what's
Yeah.
causing you to your heart rate to do weird things,
Hmm.
it's cool, man.
Yeah. And you like as fighters, you get put I would rather be put in that position in sparring or whatever where it's like, okay, I have to dig deep here rather than like in like a cardio session. I'm like, that's not gonna carry over to my fight. If I'm digging deep in a cardio session, okay, I know I can dig deep, but like it's different digging deep when someone's trying to punch you in the head, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm only gonna really work that skill properly if I'm in like a sparring session where I'm like, okay, I'm tired and I have to dig deep while this guy's trying to punch me. Yeah.
Yeah. And it freaking sucks when you look and they look fine. And you're just battling for your life
Yeah.
and they just look like they haven't even been working that hard.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. Being a teacher, do you get lots of people who know what you're up to,
Yeah.
know who you are, come up and talk to you, ask you questions, ask you why you're the size you are
Yeah.
for
I
being a
get
teacher?
I get that all the time.
Yeah.
I get that all the time. Even like, yeah, I guess some people that like know who I am if they follow like local MMA stuff or just like if I've been out of school for a period of time. Like I don't hide it if anyone asks like about like what sport. I get that the most common. They're like, "What sport do you do?" And then I'll just tell them, and then yeah. So a lot of people that I have worked with kind of know, and I think a few students that I've taught kind of regularly for phys ed classes. I think this a couple of them were out at the last fight because it was like an all ages event. So that's kind of cool. Um, yeah, it's I get the question the most like why do you have like teaching elementary school? They'd be like, why are you jacked? Like what, what is the purpose? They're like, why are you teaching me math and you're just jacked for no reason?
That's awesome. Why are you jacked, man? Now you should just go do a freaking math class and just wear your belt. Just teaching math. That's cool though, man. That's like I had I think I've only had one teacher in my life that did combat sports as well.
Oh yeah.
And man, he was the coolest.
Yeah.
He was by far the coolest, just like the most down to earth
Yeah.
teacher and just like chill. How so what made you go into teaching?
Yeah, just like I got a bunch of teachers in my family. So it's kind of always like around. And then just like I coached a lot of wrestling in high school. I did coached a lot of like the youth wrestling. And I was like, "Oh, I don't know what I want to. I was actually not planning to go to school for anything. I was gonna just take a trade and be like, I'll just work and fight.
Right.
And did well in wrestling and got the scholarship offer, and so I was like, I gotta choose something. I can't just do like 4 years of arts and science and like leave with a degree that doesn't mean anything. So
Yeah.
I was like, I like coaching, and phys ed teacher is kind of similar to that, and it seems like a fun job. So I just decided to do that, and then yeah, I honestly I graduated. I didn't think I was going to use it at all. And then I went out to BC out in Vancouver, and I was doing like after school programs where you just like go in after school and like teach them different sports, like all the kids. And I was like, oh, this is fun. I was like, I wish I could. I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, I wish I could do this, like more than just after school, like during the days. And she's like,
Mhm.
you have a teaching degree,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can literally do that.
Whenever.
Yeah, you can. You probably get paid more too. Just go in and teach.
So
So yeah, I
when
did that.
when you, because you just sub right now.
Yeah,
So is it when you go there that it's already kind of planned what you're doing, or
yeah.
can you like be like, let's do wrestling today?
I get that a lot. So like a lot of the phys ed teachers that that I teach for regularly when they're gone, they'll just be like, okay, this class is doing wrestling, so you're gonna switch with this other gym teacher, so you could just
Cool.
like teach multiple classes of wrestling in a day, and then they'll just be like easier for all of us because we don't have to plan anything. We could just be like, hey, teach them wrestling, and then I just do whatever lesson plan I want around wrestling, and yeah, it I end up teaching wrestling a lot for when I'm in the gym.
Do you like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Would you'd prefer to do that, or do you like throwing basketball in there sometimes, or
No,
hockey, or
well, it's so easy to just teach wrestling, and yeah, it's less work for everyone because I don't have to plan it out either. I've taught so many um like wrestling programs, and like I've gone into multiple gym classes
yeah.
before I was even a teacher with the Huskies, and even when I was just in high school to like promote the sport. I would go in and just like teach kids that had never wrestled before how to wrestle. So it's like very natural. I have like all different plans for different days, and it's very set in my mind already. So yeah, really easy for me to just do that. Whereas like depending on other sports, it's have to I have to plan a little bit more for them.
Has anyone asked you to bring the belt? Any
Yeah,
of
I
the
brought it into
students?
one of the schools because some of the gym teachers were messaging me asking me to bring it in. But
That's
yeah, I
cool.
try not to. I just brought it in for the teachers. I didn't bring it out in any of the classes because I was like,
Right.
it'll be too distracting for like.
Yeah, yeah,
There's no way I'll get
yeah.
their attention back after I have the belt out. So yeah,
You do all grades? Any grades?
yeah, mostly high school now. I was
Okay.
doing more elementary, but it's exhausting to teach elementary. I was enjoying it, but I would like leave the day and just be like, I'm so tired. I don't know how I'm gonna practice tonight. Whereas like high
Mhm.
school, it's a little bit more relaxed and a little bit less like burnt out afterwards.
Less chaotic.
Yeah, you'll answer like
It's fun.
200 questions in a day. Just like they'll ask every like you'll if you count them, it's like 200 questions in a day from kids because they'll just ask you everything.
Mhm.
And not even like work related questions. You'll answer 200 like non related to what you're teaching questions in a day.
Yeah.
Whereas high school, it's like I've done days of teaching high school where they're like, "Oh yeah, you're just doing it's just work periods for all all day because they don't want to plan anything, or they like maybe were super last minute, they couldn't plan anything. So they're like, yeah, they have the assignment. You're just like making sure they don't kill each other and just like yeah, you don't have to teach anything. So it was way more relaxing to sub high school than elementary.
Do you have different answers depending on, what grades asked you if you're jacked or why you're jacked?
I don't. I try to mix it up. I sometimes just be like, I don't know, man. Like,
Just woke up like
yeah,
this? Was born like this.
yeah,
That's funny, man. Do you have cauliflower ears?
yeah.
You
That's
get
what.
asked that a lot too, I
Yeah,
bet?
yeah. Usually, like high school kids know more about it, whereas like the lower you go, it's like grade 5-ish is kind of you'll get like one or two kids that might recognize it throughout the day. They'll be like, "Is that like the fighting ears?" And I'll be like, "Yeah." And then anywhere below grade 5, they're like, "Why do your ears look funny?" And I
So
try to explain, and it doesn't help because I'm like, "It's from getting punched in the head." And they're like, "What does that even mean? Why is our teacher getting punched in the head and having deformed ears? Like, it doesn't connect with them at all." Like, so I don't know. I don't know how to explain it better.
that's funny, man. That's good. That's fun though. That's like, Oh, that's hilarious. It's funny because like, young kids, man, they just whatever comes to their mind,
Yeah.
they just say it. So that'd be funny.
Yeah, I always tell them, I was like, "Don't fight or your ears are gonna look like that." And I probably turn a bunch of kids off from being like,
Oh,
if I fight another student, my ears are gonna be deformed for life." So,
that's that's
so yeah,
good.
that's what I tell them. But yeah, I don't think that I understand fully.
Man, I was for, before when you were talking about, kinda being like, coming from Saskatchewan,
Yeah.
for wrestling, was it like that? Was it like was there lots of other people from Saskatchewan going to high level wrestling?
There was like the junior Huskies would always have like a team that would go to nationals, but it was kind of hit or miss on whether they would do well there. Like certain years they would have like a really good team coming up. Some years they wouldn't. I think right now, like the Huskies actually have a pretty decent team right now, and I think the junior Huskies are similar. So, uh, yeah, it should be good. But like, um, when I was coming up, I'm pretty sure like the Huskies were not like a great team. When I first went on, when my first year with the Huskies, I think they were like seventh in the country, which like sounds not bad, but it's not great for where we want to be. We ended up like number two in the country within the next couple years after that, just like bringing guys in to train with me and all that. And like my brother came up, and I think my we got cut short because of COVID. We were
Mhm.
hoping to win the national title in our fourth and fifth year, or my fourth and fifth year, because we it shut us down for third year was our, or my third year was our last year, and then fourth and fifth year were both shut down because of COVID. But in my third year, we were second in the country, and we had three national champions, and the other two national
Dang.
champions were both younger than me. They were first and second year students, and I think we had all like first, second, and third year students on the team. We didn't have any like fourth and fifth, so we were like super young. So
Mm.
we had a really good team at that point, but it's always like very hit or miss. Like after COVID kind of wiped the or ended our wrestling like I guess our team there, kind of like everyone had graduated by the time it wrestling came back, and I think the team had to rebuild quite a bit, and it was kind of like lower again. But yeah, there's always like good wrestlers in Saskatchewan, but it's very hit or miss depending on the time. And
Yeah.
then with Flin Flon, it was like very small wrestling program. Like we had some elementary school wrestling that was like once a week for like an hour. We just kind of there's a bunch of kids that would just like we had a gym teacher that would do what he could with the bunch of kids, but I don't think we competed much at all. And then when I got to high school, it was like I think grade 10 and 11, it was just me and my brother on the team with only two guys. And then we like train in our backyard in the summers. And by grade 12, we had like some more people join the team, just a bunch of our friends, because they kind of seen that we were wrestling for Team Canada and like doing something cool, and they kind of like wanted to be a part of it. And yeah, so it's always been kind of like a small group coming out of Flin Flon. I think there's no wrestling program there now, just because me and my brother left and we were kind of the last ones that were
Yeah.
coming through there. So
So
yeah.
you got good by training in your backyard,
Yeah.
essentially?
Yeah. So we
That's
yeah.
wild, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. I can't remember if I talked about this last time I was on our my upbringing there with wrestling. We did like elementary wrestling and stuff, and then when I was grade 9, there was like still some wrestlers on the team, but they all like left after that. And then yeah, grade 10 and 11, we had like our wrestling program in the high school, but it was just me and my brother, and we had a coach. And in the summers, the school would shut down, so we had nowhere to practice. So we would like take the mats from the elementary school. My mom worked at elementary school, and she would just ask her principal if we could just take them, and then they'd be like, "Yeah, I guess." So we're not like it's shut down, so nobody can get in anyways. So we would take the mats, put them in our backyard, and then me and my brother would just train with each other
Mm.
through the summer. And we prepared for like multiple like Team Canada tournaments, like just in our backyard, just me and my brother training. So yeah, I think I had a picture of it from way back. It was me and my brother, or me and both my brothers, and then my best friend Keelan. He joined in like grade 12, and there's just the four of us training in like a backyard on like a tarp with like mats down, and that's how we train for like a
Crazy.
lot of like big tournaments where these guys are getting like high level training under like the best coaches in the
Yeah.
states, and we're just coming in like backyard brawling and then going and wrestling the world championships. And I placed third at the world championships doing that, and then my brother also placed third at, well, he got a bronze medal at the under 18 world championships doing that as well. But his is a little different. He actually lost the bronze medal, but he got it retroactively because the Russian tested positive for steroids.
Mm.
So in the under 18 category, which is a little
That's
crazy.
wild, man.
They're doping up the kids over there. He
That's
got like a
wild, man.
4-year ban for like injectable testosterone or something crazy.
Crazy. The child?
Yeah, like a 16-year-old kid. Like, I was just kidding. Like doped
Wild,
up at the
man.
world championships. So
So
yeah,
when you were doing that, were you like watching stuff
yeah,
online and just like practicing it or
yeah.
like buying programs or
No, we didn't buy anything. It's all, there's so much free stuff on YouTube that you can just
okay.
like do that. And then we would make the trip down to Saskatoon like once a month through the whole year. We would just try to, yeah, just borrow our parents' car, and we have like cousins and family here, so we would just make the trip down for a weekend and come and stay here. And then in the summers, we could probably like stay a little bit longer here. Like we'd come down and stay for like a week or whatever. But
Mm.
yeah, when we're in Flin Flon, we were just like in our backyard training. So we would try to travel as much as we could and then learn as much as we could from YouTube. And that's kind of how we figured it all out.
And then you moved to Saskatoon right after high school?
Yeah.
And then when you started training with people,
Yeah.
was it like a bit of a shock or
Not overly, just like a little bit, just because so much of our training was just like planned around what we wanted to do at the time. Like we had programs that our coach in Saskatoon would like give us. He'd be like, okay, do this on this day and this on this day. But it was like we would just like run our own practices. So it's like if
mm,
we were feeling like burnt out, we could just like be like, okay, let's take a day. Or if we were like, I feel good, we got a tournament coming up, let's get in there like twice a day and like practice like technique in the morning and hard practice in the evening. So it's very like, also like uh just the timing of everything. Like our coach was really big on like being early and like being on time for practice, whereas like we're in Flin Flon, we were just, if we got there, we would just lived together. So it's like we'd be like, okay, practice at 5, and we'd get in at like 5:20 or whatever, and
yeah.
it's like no big deal. We're just training by ourselves. So that was like a big shift, is like trying to be on time for things when
Mm.
we've been just like training on our own our whole lives. But um yeah, other just training with like different people, it was pretty normal because we would come down for bits of time and
Right.
train with the guys there. So
Yeah, man, that's pretty like unheard of,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like when I think of people like it makes me think of like Mirko Krokop
Yeah.
because I think he trained himself in his basement for a long
Yeah.
time. But like because I always tell people like you need a coach.
Yeah.
You need
We did have a coach and like a couple of coaches, but like, yeah, we had a coach like in the regular season that would like help us plan everything out. And then we had like a coach in Saskatoon that we would come down and train with. But like a lot of those work, like you do need a coach, but you also need to be able to work on your own as well,
yeah,
in my opinion. Like that's more important than having a good coach, is being able to be like accountable for
to
your
yourself.
own training and knowing enough that you know how to like fix your habits, like recording all of your stuff so you can watch it
Mm.
back and know what you need to do. Um, yeah, like, because you're not always going to have a coach watching every single workout you're doing or telling you that you need to go in for every single workout. It needs to be like all self-driven, in my opinion.
So where do you think that accountability came for you?
Just like wanting to like, I would say, yeah, just wanting to achieve a goal, like setting a goal and wanting to achieve it, and just being like, uh, what is the most I can do to achieve this? Like, if the way that we always thought about it was, these guys in the city are training under high level coaches like all the time, whereas like we don't necessarily have, or training under high level coaches and with high level training partners all the time. If we don't have like the same access as them, we just need to train harder and like study more of the sport and like all that. We need to make up for what we don't have access to by just like putting in extra work. So that's kind of just like what caused that accountability, I guess, is just being like we need to do more than the people that have all of the things that we don't have.
Mm.
Yeah.
Did you find that, when you came here that there was some, like, basics that you guys didn't really train or, like,
Yeah.
forgot about? And then also on the other side, was there things that you guys were really good at that was so unorthodox that nobody had seen it before?
Yeah. Yeah, like exactly that.
Yeah.
We we would be like, uh yeah, our basics were all off. So like we would have some of the basics down, but then some stuff they would be like, "How do you not know how to do this?" And we'd be like, "I don't know, just like didn't learn it." And then we would do a lot of like super unorthodox stuff because it's like you ever see like the Instagram moves? Like you probably get them for boxing as well. Like it's like this stuff is like tricks. It's not like stuff you could do regularly, but it will work like the odd time. So we were like really good at a lot of different tricks as well. So like you can see that even in my wrestling style now. Like my go-to takedown is still it's called a super duck, and it's like a move that is like very like people see it and it's like embarrassing to get it hit on them, but it's like one of my best moves, and it's the same with my jujitsu. Like the twister that I pulled off in my last fight, people are like shocked that I hit that. I'm like, that might be one of my best submissions, and it's like a flashy submission that people don't think is like super like realistic, I guess.
Right.
And yeah, I get really good at like those kind of unorthodox techniques. And then the basics is kind of what I just need to keep hammering, even still. Just like picking up MMA, I was under good coaches and everything, but it's still like just way more fun to train the fun stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I get really good at like these unorthodox, weird, fun techniques. So yeah, that's kind of
How
how
does it
it
feel to get
goes.
a twister in
It
an
was good. It was
actual
fun.
fight, man?
It was good. I told my
Did you well, first off, did you, like, know, like, one day, like, I'm gonna go for that someday?
yeah.
And then also, when it was while it was happening, were you like, "Okay, I'm gonna get this?"
Yeah, yeah. So I knew that I would hit at some point. Like I was saying, like I submit guys with it all the time in practice. Like good guys too, like black belts in
Mm,
jujitsu and stuff. Like if they don't know even sometimes if they know it's coming, it's like I have such a good system of like threatening other things, so they have to defend it and like playing off of their solid fundamentals. It's like they see these techniques coming, they know how to defend them, but I'm using it as a trap to like get to my twister. And a lot of people don't see that coming. So I am very good at setting it up. I knew I would hit it at some point. Um, in the game planning for that opponent, we saw that his ground game wasn't very good, and I was like, I think this might be the guy that I could hit it on,
that's
because I was like, I know I've hit it on better guys in practice. And so I actually told my manager. I texted him before. He said, "What's the game plan for this fight?" And I said, "I'm either gonna knock him out on the feet, or I'm going to take him down and get a twister." And then he was my manager's the commentator for or one of the commentators for Unified, so he was going crazy on the broadcast after
hilarious.
as I was hitting it. He was like, "I think he's setting up a twister." He told me he was going to set up a twister, and then I got it, and I was like, I was pumped about it because it's such a rare submission, and I was like,
Mhm.
that's gonna be a like a cool thing to have a video of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man, even watching it, it's like, what is hurting?
it's your
Like,
back.
okay.
It's a spine crank. It's a super like I think he waited a little bit to tap because he was like, I don't want to get hit with this or whatever it was. But he like waited until I like cranked on it, and it's like he couldn't stand straight afterwards. It took him like 5 minutes to get up
Mm,
properly. And when he was up, he couldn't like straighten his back. He was like sideways like this. Um, yeah, it's you basically you lock their leg in place and you just twist their spine like as far as it'll
it's
go.
it just sounds terrible.
Yeah,
That's wild,
yeah,
man. It's cool, man. You got like a already, man, a pretty cool highlight reel.
yeah. Yeah.
you know?
That's what I've been trying to do is first couple fights, just try to get like a feel for it, be comfortable with going the full distance if I need to. And then now we're getting to the point where I need like finishes and like flashy finishes as well to catch the eyes of the UFC matchmakers.
Right. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
last time last time you were here, we were talking about your game plan for like future, and you were talking about having a couple more fights, then fighting for the belt,
Yeah.
and then uh just trying to fight often, try and get to the to a bigger stage too. I guess what is your game plan now that you got the belt?
So yeah, my game plan now, now that I have the belt, defend it in Edmonton in June, and then I would like to defend it in Saskatoon. I believe they're in talks to get a show in Saskatoon in the fall sometime. So as hopefully that goes through and we can get it set up. Um, that would be my goal is to defend in Edmonton, defend in Saskatoon, and then go to the UFC from there. And that would put my record at 8-1, which is like good enough for the UFC to be looking to sign you. So yeah, that's my game plan right now.
Hmm.
Hopefully UFC by the end of the year.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
That'd be sick,
Yeah.
eh?
Yeah. Especially with all the Canadian cards. Like that's where you really can get in quickly is when they have Canadian cards, they look for like who's the best guys in that country that we can just bring right on to the shows there.
Right.
Yeah, and they got one in Winnipeg, and then I've heard they're planning another one for like the fall, um, in a different Canadian city. So they're coming here quite a bit. So that's where the opportunities would be big.
Yeah, the amount of shows they put on now is
Hmm.
it's like three, like at least 3 weekends a month.
Yeah,
It's
they're
like,
most weekends. It's rare that
yeah,
I see where they don't have a fight
like
card
if it's
on.
2 weekends a month, it's like that's a slow month
Yeah,
because usually it's three, and sometimes it's all four.
yeah,
It's like even right now, like because they had the big card, and they just had a fight night. Next weekend's a fight night, and
yeah.
like there's so many fight nights now.
Hmm.
Um, what do you think of the White House card?
It's not as good as I thought it would be. Like the
Yeah.
lineup, I think they were planning to have McGregor on there fighting Chandler instead of who Chandler's fighting now. I think they were planning to have Jones on fighting Pereira,
Mm,
and I think both of those kind of fell through. Um, and it's a good card, but like they hyped it up too much for it to
yeah,
be something that I'm excited. Like I'm excited about it, but it's they
still a
hyped it
good
up.
card.
They hyped it up more than they should have.
Yeah.
Yeah. If that would have came out without any hype, then people would have went crazy. But they you seen like Trump talking about it, saying like there's going to be 10 title fights. Or whatever. It's like there's not even 10 weight classes. So
So funny, man.
yeah.
So dumb. I'm honestly kind of wanting Jones to leave so he can
Yeah.
fight Francis
Oh yeah.
on Netflix.
Yeah. We'll see if they won't let him go. They won't release him unless he's got like a thing in his contract that like lets him out after a certain amount of time. If he just has like a standard like certain amount of fights, I don't think they'll let him out. They'll just keep doing whatever they need to like keep him signed to the
Mm,
UFC, even if he's not fighting. Because yeah, that would be a nightmare for them if he fought on a different promotion.
yeah. Even for like the last one, even if what if he gave them a percentage of whatever? What if he said, Jake, pay me 60 million and
Mm.
then gives half to the UFC or something?
I think they did that with the McGregor and Mayweather fight. That's how McGregor was able to take that fight. Is Dana was like one of the co-promoters on it, so he took a
Mm,
percentage of whatever the show made. And I think he said that he would never do it again because it essentially um like ended McGregor's career. Like he went on like he made millions of dollars launches to
oh,
his
I see.
alcohol brand and he was like I'm not coming back to fight. Like I don't know. He
Yeah.
came back and fought but he wasn't the same guy. He went on like a year or two of partying and then like came back different and yeah, it kind of derailed his career a little bit. So I
Mhm.
think he's not interested in doing that again.
What do you think of the state of the UFC right now?
I think it's good. They don't have stars right now. Like like McGregor, Rousey, like all those previous stars. Um, but I think that's by design. I think they want the
Yeah.
brand first. And they do have stars, but not to the same level as we've seen in the past. So like Pereira, Taporia, all those guys are like famous, but they're not to like the level of McGregor or Rousey. So I
Which
think
is kind of fine.
yeah,
I think it's fine
yeah,
because I don't think it's at like when you see social media saying the UFC is falling apart.
yeah.
Like I think it's fine.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't
like
think there's anything wrong with what they're doing right now. They seem to be doing well and everything. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't see any problem with it.
yeah, it's good, man. Well, I think we're just coming over an hour here. Uh, but I don't know if there's anything you wanted to touch on or anything you wanted to give a shout out to or anything you wanted to highlight. Do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't have too much things to like highlight on. I just like, yeah, thank you to like everyone that supported me like leading up to this point and like continues to support me. We had like a ton of local sponsors on my fight shorts and everything for the last one, and you guys included. So, Sandstar here. Um, Yeah, so it's, like, the sponsors help, like, just my family support and, like, my training partners, my coaches, like, everyone's been, like, a real huge piece of this, so, yeah, just a shout out to, like, everyone who's helped me along the way, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's cool. Like I said, man, it's cool to watch, man. It's cool to know you.
Yeah,
You know, like it's cool to know somebody who's making it happen. And like like I've worked with you. I see how you train. I see the effort you put in, and there's not many people who train like you.
yeah,
So it's like there's a reason you're at where you're at,
yeah,
and it's just it's exciting, man.
yeah,
And I'm just pumped to see what you do, where you
yeah,
go, uh, how all this turns out. And man, there's zero doubt in my mind that you're gonna go everywhere you want to go
yeah,
because you're not a talker. You're just like you just do it,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
And some people, you know, walk the walk, and some people don't, and you're running,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, I appreciate that, and then I like, if anything I can like there's anything I should highlight, I guess, for, like, what we've been talking about is just exactly that, like, doesn't matter kind of like what you have available to you, just like if you put a ton of effort in, not just physical, but like what I do, I study my opponent, I study how I can be a better fighter. I learn as much as possible. I travel around, learn as much as possible, like every aspect that you can find to improve whatever you want to do. Like it doesn't really matter what you have access to, like, right when you're starting. Like, you'll, like, slowly accumulate as much as you can and just put a ton of work in and, like, you can achieve whatever you're trying to do. It really doesn't matter what you're born with, I guess, or what you
Yeah.
have available to you immediately. Yeah.
And this is coming from a guy who his wrestling team was him and his brother, and the majority of their training was in their backyard on a mat.
Yeah,
Uh, Turning that into something
yeah,
is such an insane story,
yeah,
man. So if you think you can't because you live here, or you can't because you don't go to this school or this
yeah,
university, shut up.
yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
But thanks for coming out again, man.
yeah, thanks
That
for
was
having me.
awesome, and um, I'm excited for June for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, that'd be good.
Heck yeah.